Wait, don't scroll past this. I have to tell you something that will sound unbelievable. But after you hear it, you'll understand why your life hasn't unfolded as you expected. A man who passed away 5 centuries ago. He never met you. He didn't know you would ever exist. Yet, at this moment, he has more control over your life than you do. His concepts are woven into every conversation you have, every choice you make. Each instance, someone exploits you. Each moment you feel helpless. That is him. That is Machiavelli. And this is the disturbing part. The people succeeding around you. The one who consistently gets what they desire. That person who enters a room and commands everyone's focus. They understand his secrets. They are operating from his rule book. And you've been navigating life without it. I am about to show you something that will fundamentally alter your brain. Not in a positive thinking manner. I mean, it will literally change how you process the world. Because after you grasp what I'm about to reveal, you cannot return to your old way of thinking. It's similar to acquiring a new language, only this one allows you to decode people's true intentions. There is an unseen competition happening everywhere around you, constantly, in every engagement. Most individuals aren't even aware they are participating. They believe life is arbitrary. They believe kindness is rewarded. They believe hard work guarantees success. And this is precisely why they fail. Machiavelli understood this back in the 1500s. He served in the Italian government, observing powerful families manage complex scenarios, watching leaders gain and lose power, and he began to see repeating patterns. He comprehended that the people who win aren't the brightest, or the kindest, or the most skilled. They are the ones who grasp human nature at its foundation, the unfiltered parts. The elements we pretend aren't there. He wrote it all down. The actual laws of influence, how people truly operate when you remove the polite words and superficial smiles, how to analyze situations before they happen, how to set yourself up so you retain the upper hand. And for 500 years, this wisdom has been shared discreetly among the people who are really in charge. But this is what's changed today. You are about to learn 6 distinct mental models you can apply right away. Not abstract concepts, not philosophy. Real, strategic thinking that functions in your day-to-day life, for your ambitions, for your whole future. These are the frameworks that distinguish those who get exploited from those who get things done. And I'm telling you now, this is not comfortable knowledge. You will recognize aspects of yourself you won't like. You will comprehend how many times you've been manipulated. You will reflect on past conversations and scenarios and realize, that's what was actually going on. But that feeling, that is your mind upgrading. By the time this video is over, you will perceive something odd. You'll observe people in a new light, hear conversations differently. You will notice things you never noticed, small cues, concealed motives, the strategies being employed. And once you perceive it, you cannot unperceive it. Your brain will function on a separate wavelength from the majority of people near you. So, this is what I require from you. Don't just idly listen. Genuinely focus. Because the 6 frameworks I'm about to share are the difference between living your life reacting to others and truly directing your own destiny. This is the difference between being a strategist and being a pawn. Prepared? Let's unlock your mind. Now I need you to put this affirmation in the comments. I see the game clearly now. Let me pose a question. When was the last time you felt you needed to explain yourself? To vindicate your choices? To demonstrate you were correct? That urge to justify is your greatest vulnerability. Pay attention. Each time you explain excessively, you surrender power. Each time you defend yourself unprompted, you appear guilty. Each time you fill a silence with anxious words, you give control to the listener. Machiavelli grasped something most people fail to see. Silence is a tool of power. When you remain quiet, people begin to project their own insecurities onto you. They begin to suppose you know more than you're saying. They invent narratives in their minds about how intelligent you are, and you haven't uttered a single word. Consider the most influential people you know. Do they hurry around, justifying themselves? Do they defend every single choice? No. They operate in silence. They allow their results to talk. And when they finally speak, each word has weight. Here is what happens when you harness strategic silence. Initially, people expose themselves. When you cease to fill every conversational pause, others will rush to do it. And in doing so, they tell you everything. Their vulnerabilities, their motives, their weaknesses. They essentially give you a blueprint on how to interact with them. Second, you cease making foolish errors. The majority of people fail because they speak too much. They pledge things they can't fulfill. They reveal plans prematurely. They warn their adversaries before they act. Silence shields you from your own tongue. Third, you become hard to predict. And being unpredictable is a form of power. When others cannot deduce what you are thinking, they cannot maneuver against you. They cannot strategize around you. You become an enigma. And people respect what they cannot entirely figure out. Now, I am not suggesting you become silent. I am saying be intentional with your words. When someone poses a question you don't need to answer, simply don't. When someone attempts to lure you into a fight, stay silent. When someone demands to know your next step, just smile and redirect the conversation. Machiavelli once wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves." At times, the fox is victorious by saying nothing. Try this today. In your next interaction, fight the impulse to fill every pause. Allow the other person to speak. Observe what they disclose. You will be astonished at the influence you acquire just by keeping your mouth shut. I want you to put this affirmation in the comments. My silence is strength. Number 2, observe people like a scientist observes patterns. Do you know what divides amateurs from masters? Amateurs concentrate on themselves. Masters concentrate on others. Most individuals move through life oblivious to the humans around them. They are not observant. They do not analyze behavior. They accept people at face value and then are shocked when someone betrays or uses them. This is the reality. Every person you encounter is operating on a script. They possess patterns, triggers, weaknesses, and desires. And if you can learn to interpret these patterns, you can anticipate their actions before they happen. You can comprehend their driving forces. You can sidestep their traps before they are even set. Machiavelli dedicated his life to watching people. He saw that humans are not as unpredictable as they believe. We are, in fact, quite predictable when you know what to observe. And the individuals who master this ability, they move through life with remarkable smoothness. Begin with body language. Observe how people adjust when they are uncomfortable. See what they do with their hands when they aren't being entirely truthful. Note who they glance at when they laugh in a group. These small signals reveal everything their words conceal. Then, listen to how people discuss others. This is vital. When someone frequently gossips or criticizes others, they are revealing their own character. When someone consistently acts the victim, they are showing you they will never accept responsibility. When someone boasts constantly, they are exposing their insecurity. People tell you precisely who they are if you just listen. But this is the next level. Understand what people value. Some individuals value respect above everything. Others prioritize money. Some crave attention. Others seek security. Once you understand what a person values most, you know their currency. You know what drives them, and you know how to engage with them productively. Observe how people react to stress. That is when the facade drops. The nice person who becomes difficult under pressure, that is their true self. The leader who remains composed when everything is falling apart, that is authentic strength. Crisis exposes truth, and focus on patterns over time. A person who betrayed trust once will probably do it again. A person who is dishonest with others is also being dishonest with you. A person who is unreliable in minor things will let you down in major things. Past actions predict future actions. Machiavelli once said, Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand. For everyone can see and few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few really know what you are. So watch what people do, not what they say. Begin practicing this skill today. Choose someone in your life and analyze them for a week. Observe their patterns. Note their inconsistencies. See if you can forecast their reactions. You will be astonished at how transparent people become once you truly pay attention. I want you to put this affirmation in the comments. I see through everyone. This next one will make some people uneasy, but it's one of the most vital lessons Machiavelli taught. The instant people know what you truly desire, you forfeit leverage. The instant they see your entire strategy, they can counter it. The instant they understand your objective, they can work against you. Consider this. When you share your dream with someone, what happens? If they are competitive, they may try to get there first. If they are insecure, they may try to discourage you. If they are strategic, they will find a way to use it to their advantage. Very few individuals will genuinely support you once they know your true ambitions. This is why intelligent people operate differently. They have decoy objectives. They discuss superficial ambitions while privately working on what is truly important. They allow people to think they understand them while functioning on another level entirely. Imagine you are planning a significant life shift. The amateur tells everybody, seeks validation from people who've never done it, and absorbs negativity and doubt. Then, half the time, they fail to follow through because everyone is observing and judging. The professional? They keep their mouth shut. They get ready in private. They build in silence. And when they finally execute their plan, it is already complete. No discussion. No approval required. Just outcomes. This principle applies to every aspect of life. Do not reveal your full hand in the initial meeting. Do not disclose your entire personality to new acquaintances right away. Do not let others see your weak points until you are certain they won't use them against you. Being an enigma generates respect. Oversharing generates vulnerability. Now, some will label this as dishonest, but this is the truth. Everyone is playing this game, whether they acknowledge it or not. The person who insists they are completely transparent is just unaware of what they are concealing. The individual who claims they have nothing to hide is often the most guarded because they don't even recognize their own game. The distinction is, you will be aware of it. You are going to manage your image instead of letting other people define it. You will disclose what benefits you and safeguard what does not. Machiavelli once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." Employ this for your benefit. How to practice this? The next time someone asks about your intentions, give them the vague version. Share the details that are irrelevant. Keep the central strategy private. Observe how this alters the dynamic. Observe how you move faster when you aren't burdened by everyone else's opinions. Now, I want you to put this affirmation in the comments. My plans are sacred. Let me share something that will alter how you view every single interaction. Whoever frames the narrative controls the situation. When an event occurs, it lacks meaning until someone explains what it means, and the person who explains it first generally wins. This is why politicians scramble to release statements, why businesses disseminate information instantly, why certain individuals are always the first to share news. They understand the first story told is the one that lasts. Most individuals are passive about their own story. They allow others to determine who they are. They let rumors circulate without challenge. They allow confusion to grow. And then they are surprised when their reputation is harmed or when no one respects them. Here is what Machiavellian thinkers do instead. They shape their narrative with intention. They manage how people see them. They are not waiting for others to define them. They are presenting precisely what they want you to see. This is not about lying. It is about framing. Imagine you made an error in a situation. The passive person stays silent, hoping it goes unnoticed. The Machiavellian person addresses it immediately. frames it as a growth opportunity, outlines what they are doing to correct it, and proceeds. Identical mistake, but they controlled the story. Or suppose someone is spreading gossip about you. The weak reaction is to get emotional and defensive. The powerful response is to get out in front of it. Address it calmly. Present your side. Make the gossip seem insignificant compared to your composed reply. You have just inverted the power dynamic. Think about any high-stakes situation. The individual who merely reacts to events, they get an average result. The individual who tells a powerful story about their path, frames their setbacks as progress, and directs the conversation, that individual wins. Same situation, different story. This is effective in daily interactions too. When you make a mistake, don't wait for others to invent their own story. Admit it. Clarify your thought process. Show your plan to move forward. You have just seized control rather than being subject to their judgment. Social media is a prime example of narrative management. People carefully curate their lives. They display success, conceal failure. Display happiness, conceal pain. Is it the complete truth? No, but it is a strategic truth. And the people who excel at this gain influence. Machiavelli once said, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." Simply put, you determine your value, not your job, not your situation, you. Begin practicing this immediately. Consider how others see you. Is that view correct? Is it benefiting you? If it isn't, start changing it. Through your speech, your deeds, your presentation. Do not wait for others to tell your story. Before I get to point number 5, I want to say, if this video is resonating differently and you are actually gaining something valuable, press that like button. And if you desire more content that forces you to think at a higher level, subscribe to the channel. Most people won't, as they are passive observers. But you are not like most people. You are someone who acts. So, demonstrate it. I want you to put this affirmation in the comments. I write my story. Number 5, adopt calculated decisiveness. This is the point where most people's doubt undermines their success. And I'm going to say something that may challenge you. Being hesitant is not a winning strategy. Now, before you tune out, listen. I am not advising you to make reckless decisions. I am not saying to disregard consequences. I am saying that if you value comfort above effectiveness, you will lose every single time. Machiavelli authored his most famous work, The Prince, to instruct leaders on acquiring and maintaining power. One of his central lessons was this: sometimes you must make difficult choices that comfortable people will not comprehend. Sometimes you must remove people, end situations, make moves that appear severe, because the alternative is weakness, and weakness invites disaster. Think about the people you know who cannot make a choice. They are stepped on, exploited, taken advantage of. They are unable to say no. They cannot establish boundaries. They permit toxic people to drain them because confrontation is uncomfortable. And where does this lead them? Nowhere. They are anxious and surrounded by people who do not respect them. Now consider the people who are successful, the ones with power and respect. Are they always comfortable? No, they are decisive. They are protective of their own time and energy. They eliminate obstacles without pausing. They base their decisions on outcomes, not emotions, and people label them intense. But you know what? They are succeeding. Here is the key to calculated decisiveness. It is not about being cruel. It is about being strategic. It is about making choices based on what serves your objectives, not what makes you feel good in the immediate moment. Imagine you have someone in your life who is consistently negative, always draining your energy, always manufacturing drama. The hesitant person keeps them in their life because cutting the tie feels uncomfortable. The decisive person removes them and does not look back. One person safeguards their peace. The other gives it up for someone who is not worthy of it, or in any project. You have someone who is not pulling their weight. The hesitant person gives them chance after chance, hoping they'll change. The decisive person makes a substitution and finds someone better. One path fails, the other succeeds. This applies to your own conduct as well. Stop justifying, stop taking it easy on yourself. If you committed to waking up early, wake up early. If you committed to finishing that work, finish it. Be decisive with your own lack of discipline. That is where true transformation begins. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." This does not mean be a tyrant. It means respect is more important than affection. Boundaries are more important than being liked. Now, here is the equilibrium. Be decisive in your moves, but do not be petty. Remove people who drain you, but do not look for revenge. Make hard decisions, but do not be unnecessarily harsh. Be strategic, not emotional. That is the distinction between effective decisiveness and simply being difficult. I want you to put this affirmation in the comments. I choose power decisively. Number 6, constantly have a backup plan. This may be the most crucial one. The thing that divides survivors from victims is this. Survivors always have alternatives. Do you know who gets ruined in life? People who place all their hopes in one thing. The person with one revenue stream, the person with one social group, the person who centers their entire identity on one role. When that one thing collapses, they collapse. Machiavellian thinkers do not function like that. They diversify everything. Multiple sources of income, multiple social networks, multiple abilities, multiple exit plans. They are never reliant on any one thing or person because they understand that life is volatile and people are not always reliable. Consider your income right now. Could you manage if your primary source vanished tomorrow? Do you have savings, other income, valuable skills, contacts in other fields? If the answer is no, you are exposed. You are subject to the whims of circumstance. That is a position of weakness. Or consider your social life. Do you possess contacts outside your primary circle? Can you be happy alone? Do you have alternatives if your current situation shifts? I am not advocating for disloyalty. I am advocating against being so dependent that a single loss destroys you. That is not loyalty. That is weakness masquerading as commitment. The same principle applies to your strategies. You want to begin something new. Excellent. What is your plan if it fails? You want to enact a major change? Fantastic. What is your backup if conditions change? You are betting everything on one strategy. That is dangerous. Have backup plans. Imagine you are chasing an opportunity. The person with no alternative chases it with desperation and takes whatever is offered. The person with alternatives has multiple options, is not desperate, and negotiates from a position of power. Same individual, different results, all due to preparation. Or imagine you are in a disagreement with someone. The person with no alternatives becomes emotional and severs ties. The person with alternatives stays composed because they know they have other choices. They can leave at any moment. That lack of dependency gives them the advantage. This mindset also shields you from disappointment. When you are not reliant on anyone or anything, setbacks sting less. Someone reveals their true self? Fine. You have other people. A project does not succeed? Frustrating. But you have other strategies. Nothing can fundamentally ruin you because you have constructed redundancy in your life. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Do not wait until you are desperate to create options. Do it now, while you still have time. Begin today. Develop a secondary income stream. Acquire a new skill. Widen your network. Accumulate more savings. Fortify other relationships. Generate options for yourself. Because the individual with options is the individual with power." So, that's it. 6 mental frameworks that will alter how you think, how you act, and how you win. These are not just concepts. They are tools. And just like any tool, they are amoral. You can employ them to shield yourself, build your success, and prevent being exploited. Or you can disregard them and continue playing life at a disadvantage, wondering why things don't go your way. I know. Most people who watch this won't do anything with this information. They will agree, perhaps leave a comment, and then revert to their old programming. But a small fraction will genuinely apply this. Those individuals will begin to see changes immediately. Their interactions will change. New opportunities will emerge. Power dynamics will be altered. The question is, which group do you belong to? If you found value in this video, don't just consume and click away. Hit that like button. Send this to someone who needs to see it. And subscribe to the channel, because we are only just beginning with this depth of content. Most channels provide you with shallow motivation. We are digging deep into the psychology that actually governs the world. And put your affirmation in the comments. Tell me which point resonated with you the most. Show me you are serious about this journey. Because this is not for just anyone. This is for individuals who are tired of losing and are prepared to learn the real game. Remember, the world does not reward the most comfortable person. It rewards the most intelligent, the most strategic, the most prepared. So cease playing by rules designed to keep you weak and start thinking like someone who was destined to win. I will see you in the next one. Stay sharp. Put this final affirmation in the comments. I'm awake now.